Hi, welcome back to my podcast, Life from M's Perspective. I know it's been a minute, but today I just thought to share with you something that literally that's been going on in my head, and this is something that people might agree with or disagree with. And just remember that my podcasts are never to impose things on anybody or to make them feel as if they're being judged or anything like that, because I respect the fact that we're all different individuals with different opinions, with different point of views, and it's important that we respect that, so that we don't come across in a way that we're offending other people, and not just offending them, but we feel them that they ought to be doing what we're doing. And which is basically my kind of topic for today. It's just how we tend to feel like we have to be in control of things or other people's life, or how they should be, or what they should be doing, and where they should be at in life. So that's basically what this podcast is about to cover, and it's just something that I've been noticing recently. It's like it has become like a trend, or to be telling people that, oh my god, you're still here, you're still doing this, like you should be doing that, you should be wearing that, you shouldn't be wearing this, you shouldn't be putting on this and this. So it's like we feel the need to tell people to actually act accordingly to how we act, accordingly to what we believe best suits them, without realizing that it's not what best suits them, but it's what best suits us and our understanding of things. So and I believe that some of us do it without knowing, and I believe we usually do it without realizing that we're doing it. But it's important to realize that what's best for you, it's not necessarily that it's going to be best for the other person, and what's best for them, it's not necessarily going to be best for you. So that's why it's also important to understand that don't judge anybody, or don't try to impose your ways on somebody else, or feeling the need that you need to be in control of life. Like you can't control. It's important to understand that life is a big thing. Like life was given to us by God. I don't know if you're a believer when you listen to this, or whatever you are, just trying to be in control of life is literally exhausting. You think that you can control your life, but indirectly that's you tiring yourself. That's you leading yourself into depression, because you think that you ought to be in a certain place, or you ought to be in a certain situation, but at the end of the day, that's not where you are. And because you've literally carried this thing upon yourself to feel the need to be, I need to be here by this certain time, I need to be here by this certain age, I need to be here by this certain, it's like you're controlling everything, and you want to control how life should run, and in that process you're not realizing that you cannot control life. Life will happen, and life will do what it has to do, whether you like it or you don't. The important thing is to embrace the fact that once you know that you can't control life, that time then will you be literally, honestly happy, and will you feel more free and more relaxed, because you've understood the fact that you can't control what it's not in your hand, because life is not in your hand. We lie to ourselves so much that life is in our hand, but that's not true. It's not. You know what is in your hand? To get to that job on time, to wake up early and go do that assignment that you have to do, to wake up early and go for coffee with your friend, to actually schedule your plans accordingly in the way that meets the schedule for the day. That's what it's in your control, but you can't control your entire life. That's just impossible. You can control just the little things, but you're controlling how life should be run, and what you should be at, where you should be at, and what should be coming to you and what shouldn't be coming to you. That will just exhaust you, and that will cause so much anxiety upon you that you don't realize that you're doing that to yourself. Because sometimes we definitely think that the others are doing it to us, but we're actually doing all these things to ourselves, living up upon other people's expectations. Because at the end of the day, while we're trying to control life, we don't control it because We don't want to be in a certain place or in a certain situation, or have a certain achievement achieved at a certain time or at a certain age, because that's sometimes it might be what we want, but sometimes it's just the pressure of the others around us. So that thing is just gonna do nothing else but exhaust you and lead you to anxiety and lead you to depression. And until you learn to embrace the fact that whatever happens, it's all according to God's plan, and it's all according to what was supposed to happen, or it's according to the destiny that it's supposed to happen in, and just embrace that. Don't put yourself down for it. Don't put yourself down like, I could have done better, I could have done this. Well, guess what? You didn't do it. Move on. Learn your lesson and move on. Approach it with a new perspective, because you need to stop dwelling in the past. That's the thing I've realized we tend to do too much. We tend to be like, oh, I could have done this, if I would have done this, it wouldn't have been that way. It's like, that's when you're trying to literally be in control. You're thinking that if you could have done that, then that's you indirectly thinking that you could control the situation, but you couldn't. And life just showed you that you couldn't control it, because life decided to control itself. So that's why, I feel like it's important that when things happen, we just embrace it. We just learn from it and move on with it, Let's not dwell in it and just think how we could have done better, because it's gone and you can't bring it back, So if you can't bring back something, just go on with life and just embrace it from a different angle. Embrace it in a way that you'll be like, thank you, God, or thank you, Lord, that I've learned from this thing, Thank you, now I see things differently, So I personally believe that should we only stop controlling our own lives, because then we lead into a depression, or we become unhappy because we feel like others are doing better than we are. But also we should also stop trying to control other people's life, because what they do is their choice. What they decide to do is their own point of view of how things should be done. And as much as we would respect them, they should also kind of respect us too. Not kinda, they actually should respect us. It's like, I love saying this, like, if I respect your point of views, I would literally prefer if you respect mine too, even if we don't agree on the thing, even if we don't see it the same way. But at the end of the day, we're different people with different opinions and different point of view of life, and how we see things and how we look at things. So if I can respect the way you're leading your life, try to respect the way I'm leading mine too, because if I'm not downgrading you, if I'm not putting you down, why are you doing the same? Why are you not doing the same to me? Why don't you just let me be and just respect the way I'm doing my life? If I can respect the way you're doing your life, instead of you trying to control me to be a certain way, or to try to be on the same level, or to be in the same way that you live. Why don't you just respect the fact that I can have a different view and I can have a different point on how life goes on, and stop trying to control me. And this is a vice versa too. I'm not just saying to the other person. That's just, I feel like that's what we should be doing, because I've been coming across this thing nowadays where people are just like, oh my God, have you seen that? Or like, why is she not on this certain level? Why hasn't she done this? Or we're different. That's why I haven't done it, So it's important that we respect each other's point of views. And on top of that, let's stop trying to control how people go about their things, and how people go about their lives, and how people go about their dressing, or how people go about their beliefs, and just learn to respect it, just respect one another. Because once you can understand that, then I feel like the little conflicts and the little misunderstandings happen, they will never occur, because we are sitting on the table understanding the fact that there's different individuals here who will literally not agree with you, and who you will probably not agree with 100%. But at the end of the day, you just gotta understand that they're different, and with different mind, the beautiful thing is born. If we all had the same mindset, then we would stay in our comfortability zone, and that's not good. Then we're not learning anything. And so we just need to embrace the fact that different mindsets, different ways of living teach us new ways of approaching things and teach us new ways of succeeding in life. So instead of trying to control what other person thinks and how they see life, how about you try to initiate the ways that you can learn from their ways of looking at life. Try to look at ways that you can grow in understanding why they have a certain point of view of life that's in comparison to yours. So honestly, that's like my topic for today. It's just something that came into my mind, and I just wanted to encourage everybody out there, like, just to be reminded that we can't be in control of life. You can be in control of a certain thing, but life in general, it's something that we can't control. And if we really want to lead a happy life, it's to learn to respect one another's point of views, and it's to learn when to draw a limit on where we think we can control life and where we cannot, because otherwise then we will really be unhappy. So if you're a person who's trying to control something at the moment, how about you just let it go? It's like this say where they be like, if you hold on to the sand tighter, you literally lose it. It just slips out of your hand. But if you just hold the sand in your palms and just let it sit there, it doesn't go anywhere. And so it's the same kind of way. Like, if you try hard to control something, it just exhausts you and you don't become happy, because then that means it requires some compromises and it requires some sacrifices. But if you just let things lead its way and you just follow the way it's going, then you're less stressed and you're less worried, because you're basically letting life take control and not you. Because if you have to take control of something, that means you have to be responsible for everything. That means you have to know what the heck is going on. But if you just let it, just sit back a little bit and let things fall into place on its own, then the more you'll be happy and the more you'll be relaxed and the more your mental health is going to be good as well. So we have different point of views. And once again, you might not agree with what I'm saying, but this is just how I see things, and this is just a little thing that I just wanted to share with you. Just step back a little bit from anything that you feel like you need to control at the moment, and just see how happy and grateful you will be that that only God can control what He wants to control, and we can't control anything of our own. So thank you for listening once again. And once again, you don't have to agree or whatever, just understand that we're different individuals with different point of views. So until next time.